with a win over Assumption to win the Division 5 state championship. Mineral Point in Laconia coming up in just a few moments. And then the Division 3 championship approximately 2:30 p.m. between Wakan and Freedom. We are just about ready for basketball in Division 4. We're going to hand out a gold and a silver to get you set for this big matchup here. We join now Lance and Andy.
Thanks so much, Nick. Yes, I'm Lance Beezer alongside Andy Brunell, and we have the top two seeds in this field here in this game, but you talk about kind of polar opposite situations. Yeah. Mineral Point, very senior late, very veteran group. On the flip side, 5 of the top 8 players potentially in this game for Laconia could be freshmen. I mean, it is a complete contrast.
Absolutely, and I think Mineral Point, they talked about it, so focused on how things didn't go their way last year in the state final, very focused on this and being here at this game, and then you got the young guns of Laconia, so it'll be an interesting matchup.
Let's check out the points of the game. Points of the game brought to you by Menards. Save big money on Menards on all your home improvement needs. As you see here, I mentioned a senior late group with Lindsay and Chambers leading the way. Blair Waters also had a very good game against Westfield in their semifinal win. On the flip side, then, you look at, I mentioned, freshmen, and they performed here in the semifinals, Andy.
They did, and I thought by and large they handled the pressure they saw against Neilsville very well last night. That's going to be huge. Can they handle the pressure that Mineral Point will throw on them today?
So Mineral Point won by 10 over Westfield in the semifinals. You mentioned Laconia stepped up, and I guess when you look at these two teams, one thing that does stand out is Laconia doesn't have one player in particular that's going to lead them, so very balanced attack, whereas Mineral Point has a top 2, clearly defined top 2 based on what we saw in the semifinals.
And those top 4 in general for Mineral Point do so much of the scoring, so much of the work for them. So it'll be interesting. I do think you see a little more depth for Laconia, but very young depth, and this is obviously the biggest stage they're going to play on all year.
So will it be the 2nd state title in school history for Mineral Point or the 1st for Laconia? We're going to find out here in a matter of minutes. After this message, we'll set the stage. A message now from your local station. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Yeah, we pack for the weekend. That's how we handle these road trips. And we're kicking around and just really proud of the kids to make enough plays at the end.
And there's the chip right there. Just steal one there as a chance to lay it on there as well. Here's Lindsay. Oh, how about this? Nice little fake.
We're really excited. This is what we've been working for all year, so we're ready to go.
Welcome to Championship Senior number 10, Mallory Lindsay. At guard, 5'3", senior number 13, Ella Chambers. At forward, a 6-foot senior number 21, Blair Waters. At forward, a 6-foot junior number 32, Kennedy Winger. And at center, a 6-foot junior, number 34, Caitlin Cox. The head coach of the Pointers is Michael Key. And now, Holly Johannes. At forward, a 6-foot sophomore, number 12, Calista Vandenberg. At guard, a 5'8" freshman, number 14, Aubrey Leonard. At guard, a 5'10" freshman, number 21, Peyton Morgan. And at guard, a 5'10" freshman, number 22, Tierney Madigan. The head coach of the Spartans is Chris Morgan. The referees is assigned by the WIAA are Tom Sawinski, Jerry Wright, Jake.
Your starting lineups brought to you by Construction Business Group and Destinations Career Academy, working together to prepare students for a rewarding career as a Wisconsin operating engineer. I mentioned a senior late group, 3 seniors, 2 juniors in the lineup for Mineral Point. On the flip side, look at that, 3 freshmen, along with the sophomore Calista Vandenberg and the steady senior, Molly Jones. Here's the opening tip, and it's going to go to Mineral Point. They will start with the basketball here. The top seed coming in with a record of 29-0. And here's Blair Waters going right towards the rim. Good defense there, and forced a tough shot. Rebound goes to Madigan. Here's Madigan taking it across half court for Laconia. And this is Leonard, Aubrey Leonard, sending it around to Vandenberg. There's Morgan trying to throw it inside. It's picked off by Ellen Chambers. Chambers up ahead to Waters. Waters stops, sends it back to Lindsay. Waters left wide open for the corner, and we have 3 on the board for the Pointers.
Quick tempo by both teams right away. Several trips up and down court. Full court pressure by the Pointers.
They will bring this full court pressure pretty much the entire game. This is what they've done all season, and that's going to be the big question, right, Andy? How do the freshmen of Laconia handle this pressure for an entire game here on the state championship stage?
Yeah, probably some of the most intense pressure they've seen all season. See if they're ready for the moment.
And again, they try to lob it inside to Morgan, and it's once again picked off by Mineral Point. Here's Mallory Lindsay. Takes it up. Stops, surveys the defense. Ella Chambers probing. And they're leaving some open looks here on the perimeter here, Andy, with this zone defense.
Yeah, they can kind of, it's like they're targeting who they're going to step off of a little bit versus who they're going to come out and get. You can see them definitely face guarding Lindsay in the corner.
Kennedy Winger loses it for a second, sends it into Caitlin Cox. Cox goes off the glass and in.
That height advantage inside will be another factor that the Colonel's going to have to account for.
Mineral Point with 3 6-footers here in the starting lineup, so not just one post player you got to worry about, but 3 of them.
Mineral Point just so many options, so many weapons.
And again, nice pass inside. This time they do connect with the lob in there to Molly Johannes, their leading scorer, lays it in and gets Laconia on the board.
Early in the game, that's huge. You got to get an easy bucket, get something on the scoreboard early, and that helps some of the nerves so much.
Ella Chambers got an answer with a 3. That one's cleared by Vandenberg.
It's a great box out inside seal by Vandenberg.
Vandenberg here, goes baseline. She's going to get trapped down there, sends it out. They kick it around. Morgan passes up the look, but will take the second look she gets, and that one off the mark. And let's take a look once again at some of the nice passing here. And they tried to lob it in the first 2 possessions, threw it away. This time it worked, Andy.
Yeah, just a little bit better of a pass, and you had the full cut going all the way to the basket this time. A couple of the other times they broke off the cut before they got there.
Lindsay sends it over to Cox. Here's Cox over to Winger. And now a man-to-man type look here for Laconia. There's Cox. She sends it into Winger. Winger tries left hand, too strong. And a rebound there by Johannes.
You can see definite, very much by design, that intent to try to get the ball inside, use that height advantage.
Laconia gets it down. They're swatted away by Winger. But Laconia keeps possession here. 3-ball for Johannes. Goes right into the winning hands of Blair Waters.
And they put up a lot of threes. They'll shoot about 25 or so per game.
Cox, nice pass across, but couldn't quite corral it. Good Winger. Winger, though, will try to back it in. Good defense there by Morgan. And she sends it to Aubrey Leonard. Leonard tries to throw it up ahead. Another beautiful save here. We've got a scramble for the ball, and when all is said and done, the Spartans have it. Into the corner here. Here's Peyton Morgan sending it over to Vandenberg. Cox swats at it.
Another nice backdoor. They're definitely something they felt like in their preparation they could take advantage of the backdoor cutters.
Madigan tries the runner. No good. Waters rebound for Mineral Point. Here's Mallory Lindsay.
She's had such a great command of the court when she's out there. You just sense the control she has of their offense.
And you see Laconia switching defenses here in the first few minutes. Back and forth they go. Giving Mineral Point something to think about every time down the court. Ella Chambers open again, tries her second three, but this one is on the money. That is 2-3. Really going for Mineral Point as they take an 8-2 lead.
Yeah, trouble getting the ball in.
They're getting it across half court, but The pressure hasn't caused any turnovers in that end, but it is causing some issues on the offensive end for Laconia. They trail by 6 as we take a break to hear a message from our statewide sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Looking to...
Well, nothing for Mineral Point to be sad about right now as it's 8-2. They have the lead here in this Division 4 state championship game. And you, by the way, can show your love for your team by tweeting with the hashtag WIAAGB with your in-stadium or on TV with Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin live tweets. As you can see, fans from both squads and even some fans here just here to dance, Andy. Sometimes you just got to come to a state championship game to dance, right?
Music, the atmosphere gets you. Gets in your rhythm, gets in your soul. I mean, you do a great cheer dance by the way, during the game as well.
I do like to boogie, as they say. All right, Mineral Point with the ball coming out of the timeout. And checking into the game here for Mineral Point, that was Bell Waters, who had it. Chambers gets into some trouble, tries to send it in for Cox. It's tapped away. And a little miscommunication there, but a lucky bounce for Laconia.
Kind of settled down. It was a good defensive set there by Laconia. Didn't give the inside touch away like we did earlier.
Vandenberg tries to make a move. That was a tough shot. Goes off the front of the iron. Cox sends it up to Lindsay. Lindsay's looking ahead. Mineral Point will push the tempo when possible. Although Laconia's done a good job of getting back on defense to prevent some open layup opportunities. Instead, Chambers, she is getting tested. We're going to get a call there. We'll see who they get. It might be, they're going to get Vandenberg, it looks like, with the foul.
Let's see that one on the replay. It's a good take. She went in aggressively.
Here's Chambers headed to the free throw line. One of those star seniors. Was on the all-tournament team a year ago and might be on her way to another performance this season as she had 14 points in the semifinals in that win. Her and Mallory Lindsay really carrying them to victory over Westfield 55-45. And second one no good. Waters skies up there. They can test that one. Blair Waters really got up there, forces a jump ball. Now we'll go to Laconia.
Yeah, she was airborne there. Good for her.
Full court pressure once again for Mineral Point. And here into the game is Eva Engel. First time we've seen her for Laconia. Engel picks up her dribble though up top. Needs someone to help her out. Chambers trying to jump the passing lane. That's going to lead to an open look from Madigan. Passes it up. Takes the layup. Too strong. Cox has the board for Mineral Point.
It's just one shot and done almost every possession for Laconia. That height advantage for Mineral Point was too much for them to get any offensive boards.
Chambers and Lindsay playing a little two-person game here. They give and go to each other. Both of them will try to probe the defense and see if they can kick out into the corner. That's what they get here. That's three-pointer by Waters. No good. It's tapped around. Laconia does have it as Johannes sends it up to Madigan. Madigan thought about sending it cross court. Instead, keeps it over here to Morgan.
Can't quite probe the interior of that defense. They get close, but just can't quite get into the lane.
Lindsay misses the steal into a shot opportunity. No good. Laconia's second chance by Engel. That one no good. They did finally get a second opportunity down there, Andy, but you're not going to get a third against Mineral Point.
And then the height was so much that a second chance point was with that.
And Chambers is feeling once again. Her second three-pointer. She is 2 of 3 from beyond the arc already in this game. Mineral Point has hit 3 triples, and that is why they are up 10 already. Just under 11.5 minutes to go right now here in the first half.
Early on, this is the big juncture for Laconia to respond.
That one goes off the leg. It's going to stay with the Spartans. Let's take a look at Ella Chambers. And Chambers, 2 of 3 for the field. All 3 field goal attempts have been three-pointers, and this is something that she does at a very high clip, 33% on the season. Mallory Lindsay at about 44%, so they have a couple of really deadly sharpshooters out top.
Yes, and they've put up high numbers during the course of the year, too. It's not like they have a high percentage on, like, say, 30 shots. They put up a fair number of threes.
Here's Engel giving it to Johannes. Back over to Engel for 3, and get to Laconia bench up off their feet.
Taking your NBA range.
Lead back down to 7. Here's Chambers. Shot fake goes in amongst the trees. Undisposed players on the court finding a way to score over about 3 Laconia defenders.
You know, Laconia is so keen on Lindsay that that's really giving Chambers the green light to score, and she took advantage of it there. Good, strong move to the hole.
And this has been the Ella Chambers show here, as she has scored the last several possessions down the court here for Mineral Point. She's the reason they're up 9, potentially up 10 here. She tries to make it a 3-point play. You look at that, 9 points already for Ella Chambers.
You know, that's the thing with the Pointers, with how many different options they have. If you're, you know, Laconia, they're coming out, they're going to do everything they can to take Lindsay away. Well, that's going to open up things for other players, and Chambers is all over it.
And Chambers connects the lead back up to 10 as we take a break here. So here from our local stations, you're watching your WIAA network station. The 2022 WIAA Girls Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Mineral Point Pointers up 10 here in this Division 4 championship game. Mineral Point did win a state title back in 2016. This is their 3rd state appearance. 2nd state trip for Laconia. They made it back in 2019 where they made it to the Division 3 title game and lost to Marshall. Once again, some full court pressure. Mineral Point pulling back, looking for a trap there. Instead, Blair Waters kind of scrambling to find her person. She does.
Good ball moving by Laconia, but again, so many of these passes are perimeter orientated passes. Just that pressure of Pointers just not letting them get in.
Driving it up and in is Molly Duel with a beautiful finish.
Right on cue. That's a girl.
Duel, another one of those freshmen. She came off the bench. I mentioned 5 of the top 8 players for Laconia in their rotation, freshmen on this team. So far, they're hanging in there on Chambers. Finally misses after making several in a row. Here with the basketball into the game, that's Reese Keel. You send it into the corner, they send a cross-court. Duel gets into the lane again. She sends it back out to Johannes. Didn't quite have a handle on that one, I think, when she led it up in the air, and it goes out of bounds, and it'll be going to Mineral Point. Let's look at Molly Duel. I mentioned a freshman coming off the bench.
It's a good little ball fake. Just throws that defender just enough for her to be able to turn the corner, get her on her hip. Good finish.
So some substitutions here for Laconia. You mentioned this pressure for Mineral Point. You do want to rotate a lot of bodies in here, Andy, early to keep everyone fresh.
Well, and then again, the bench points, you know, the Pointers have so many options in their starting lineup. They're not going to get the bench contributions that you're going to see from Laconia.
Waters misses that one. Here comes Laconia. Chance to cut down this 8-point deficit. Morgan gets it stripped away by Waters. Winger corrals it. Mineral Point doesn't have the numbers, so they pull it back out, give it to Chambers. Here's Waters, sends it down low into Winger. Winger, nice little pivot. Didn't get the shot quite on point. Here's Molly Duel again. She needs someone to come get the ball from her. That someone is Keel. That 3-ball corner, that one too strong for Engel. Blair Waters here, takes it, gets down to the block, sends it back out to Waters. Waters to Waters. And that one doesn't quite go for Blair.
Laconia definitely coming out again. Focus on Lindsay, doing a great job face guarding her. Pointers seeming quite content, like, all right, you're going to take her out, somebody else is going to take advantage.
Strong take by Engel. She will get fouled and go to the free throw line. Another one of those freshmen for Laconia. And you can notice that Laconia's kind of settled down a little bit here. Their first couple of possessions, they turned it over. And then it took them a while to get the ball in the hoop, and now they look like they're playing their game.
One thing that struck me early is their ability to get that deep outlet pass, kind of like bypass the pressure that the Pointers want to put on the half court, the back court. So that just is a great job, just a little subtle adjustment that's helping them break the pressure and settle in their offense quicker.
And Coach Chris Morgan said Engel, one of those players, one of those young players, has really come on as the season has gone along. It's been an X factor for them on this tournament run, helped get them to this point coming off the bench, and the bench has played a huge role so far for Laconia. Mentioned bench points overwhelmingly in favor of Laconia right now.
And as we talk about pregame, they definitely will go a lot deeper in their bench than what you'll see Mineral Point.
7 of the 9 points for Laconia have been off the bench. Bell Waters did come off the bench for Mineral Point. She sends it over to Chambers. Chambers misses. There's Blair Waters. She's going to get fouled by Johannes.
Great crash. She just read that perfectly, just sliced right in.
So we've seen some athletic rebounding here from Blair Waters in the early going. You can kind of see why she's such a great track athlete in addition to being a good basketball player. That athleticism on full display.
If you look at her stat line too, just very impressive, just very consistent. She contributes across the board in just about every area possible.
The Plateau recruit misses the second one. Winger's fouling, and will get called for the foul. That was Cox. As Cox tried to get in there for the rebound, went over the back. We'll push in the back.
Gives Mineral Point a chance to get their press set.
There's Laconia. They've been able to get it across the half-court stripe, and then I think this is the point where sometimes the pressure has a secondary effect to get you sped up on the half-court offense here.
And kind of gets you to pick up the ball a little bit sooner, start the ball farther outside, and there's another example of it.
And then we see it again. Laconia sped up a little bit. Morgan had to save it from going out of bounds, sends it right to Chambers. Lindsay has it here from Mineral Point. She's going to set it up, set it over to Waters. Some screens and movements. Chambers has been most of the offense here for Mineral Point in the early going, as she has 9 so far of their 15 points.
Little flex look here out of the corners. See that cross screen, that back screen happening on the ball reversal. Here comes Lindsay coming off the screen now.
Winger looking that way, stands cross court to Chambers, and she is on fire.
Putting the team on her back right now on the offensive end.
Ella Chambers averaged just 10.7 points per game coming into this tournament. And she's already up to 12 after scoring 14 in the semifinals.
While we talk about Laconia, it's keen on Lindsay. That's going to open up other options.
And Laconia answer they cannot. Morgan misses. It's tapped out to Mallory Lindsay. She looks ahead to Chambers. Chambers sends it over to Winger, and they will set the offense. Mineral Point. Michael Keys calling something out for his squad.
For the back screen coming here again, Chambers coming off of it.
And here's Waters. Waters sends it over to Chambers. Chambers, a couple of dribbles, looking for someone to give it to. That someone's Winger. A lot of movement there, and it leads to Caitlin Cox getting a look. They keep looking for that back door, Andy, but then sometimes the defense starts cheating that direction, gets you a look. Nice strong take there by Madigan.
And impressed with Laconia. They're not afraid to attack the basket, just throw their body up in there and just throw it from the phone.
So we have a 10-point game once again as we take a break on the court to hear a message from your local station. You're watching your WINA network station. Mineral Point up by 10 here in this Division 4 state championship game. We have 5 gold balls to hand out here. 1 down, 4 to go. Mineral Point faithful want their team to take off the second gold ball in school history. Those guys did some arts and crafts before the game here today, Andy.
You know, do what you got to do to support the squad.
There we go. They're pumped. They're on TV. And they're very pumped because their team is also up by 10 here with 6:39 to go. First half. Oh, nice inbounds play. Some miscommunication there as Vandenberg just gets a wide open layup.
It's definitely not set. Coach Keys not happy about that. You hate giving up buckets, easy buckets on out of bounds plays.
And that's what Laconia needed. Get an easy basket there. Get it back down to single digits.
But not gotten a lot of easy looks so far, so that helps.
Here's Caitlin Cox. Looking down low to Waters. Waters takes a dribble, gets it stripped away. Mineral Point's going to keep it, though, as Chambers has it. She stops, pulls up her dribble, sends it over to Waters. Waters looking down low, playing a little high-low game there. Winger, hesitation, nice move. Can't get it to level home. That rebound by Morgan. Leonard kicks it back out. A long 3. That one no good. Sometimes you wonder in this gym, Andy, you have a college line and then you have a white temporary line here for the high school. Sometimes you notice the kids pull up from that black line, which is, that's college distance.
About 2 feet deeper than what they're used to shooting, man. So for some of them, that can make a big difference.
That was a college 3 that didn't go. Here's Vandenberg for Laconia.
Spin back.
She lost the dribble there and a little aggressive dive in there by Caitlin Cox. She's going to get called for the foul. For Cox, that's going to be foul number 2. We mentioned Mineral Point doesn't usually go very deep on their bench, but 2 quick fouls here for Cox. And sure enough, someone coming to check in. That three no good. Laconia really hasn't found the distance yet on most of those three-point attempts. They've made one so far out of 8.
See the flex look here again. Nice screening off the ball.
Cox gets it down low, pivots. Left hand no good. She gets it, got the ball maybe a little bit lower than she wanted, and gets tied up. It will stay over here with Mineral Point. Here come the substitutions in for Laconia. It's going to be Eva Engel checking back in, and coming into the game for the first time for Mineral Point, Ella Kroll. So here's Mallory Lindsay to inbound. Gives it to Waters, who hands it right back. Lindsay will try a 3. That one hits the iron in the backboard. Goes right into Engel's hands.
Yeah, her first shot attempt tonight for the leading scorer.
Mallory Lindsay, leading scorer on the season and in their semifinal win. She scored 20 points, but has yet to get on the board here in this one, as it's been Ella Chambers doing the damage. Meanwhile, nice move by Johannes to get a shot off. Doesn't make it. Here's Engel. She has hit one, doesn't hit that one. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to go to Mineral Point. I mentioned now 1 of 8. They are now 1 of 9 from the three-point range, and those are the ones that are going to have to start going in, because a couple of those looks have been open, Andy.
They're not shy when it comes to that three-point shot. That was something Coach Morgan said, like, we're okay with them, but we just can't fall in love with them.
Winger will try. 16-footer there. No good. Waters scrambling for the board. She's been very active on the glass. Here's Ella Kroll. Takes a couple of steps. Tries to feed it down to Winger. Winger gets it. Nice cut. Down low to Ella Chambers. So for Chambers, that is now 15 points. Wow. Out of the 21 for Mineral Point. They double up on the ball, leads to an open look again, make it 1 of 10 from 3. Nice rebound, stick back no good by Johannes. We're going to get a foul down low now. It's going to stay with Laconia.
A little late on the box out.
Let's take a look at some of this great interior passing here, Andy.
Well, they get those post touch off the screens that they run so well, and then again, just a great weak side cutter in. This is a good dive cut. Great bounce pass through the double.
Little trap in the corner there. Nice cut by Leonard. Leads to a layup opportunity. Goes strong. Waters clears it.
You see that stat? Very consistent to Mineral Point. They have a high assist rate on their team. They play well off of each other.
Waters now up to 7 boards here. She tries to take a shot. No good. Johannes has the board for Laconia. They're going to push it up a little bit. Here's Madigan. Madigan goes right at Kroll. Gets a layup. And we're going to get the call for an offensive foul here. A little bit of maybe a forearm push there as she went in with the left hand.
Yeah, let's take a look here, see what we got. It's a little
subtle right arm push maybe is what they're going to call on Madigan.
I guess so. Obviously, the Laconia faithful not happy with that call.
I don't think they liked it. There's Lindsay trying to get on the board and still have an opportunity at the line. And now Laconia not happy with that call either. And here's the leading scorer for Mineral Point, Mallory Lindsay. Was the conference MVP, averaged 15.5 points per game this season. Scored 20 in the semifinals. Still looking to get on the board here in this one with her team up 10.
Laconia's done a really nice job making her looks a challenge. Obviously, Chambers has stepped up and taken advantage of the opportunity, but Mineral Point won't need Lindsay to get rolling here before this game gets too much going more into it.
She has her first free throw, only 1 field goal attempt so far in the game for Mallory Lindsay. Again, because Ella Chambers has been taking and making 5 of 8 from the field for 15 points.
Good movement here by Laconia. See if they can translate this into getting a lane touch.
We mentioned Mineral Point likes to try some traps here, and you move the ball quick, right? And you try and find the open person.
Yeah, better you hang on to it. That's just going to invite the trap coming to get you.
Engel with some dribbles, and again, they trap right there. Back to Engel, and reach in by Winger as Engel went in. We mentioned get rid of it quick as they had a quick trap, handed right back to Engel. She goes to the rim.
It's a good quick move to the hole, and you can just see the close up by Winger. Just got that left hand in there a little too much. Drew the foul call.
Engel misses the first. We see some substitutions coming back in for Laconia. They have been substituting freely throughout this first half, trying to keep everyone fresh here. You're ramped up with energy, but then sometimes that anxious energy goes away and you realize, whoa, I'm running around a lot here. Waters has to track down that ball. She's looking up. Close. Nearly got called for a travel there. Instead, gets it to Chambers. Looking down low at Winger. Wants to feed it to Winger. Does. And Winger will get called for the travel as they doubled up on her. So it's now an 11-point lead for Mineral Point as we take a break here from our statewide sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Wisconsin is one of those.
Sure. Okay, so our trivia question here will be coming up momentarily. There it is. When was the last time 2 undefeated schools played for a state title? 2016, 2018, 1996, or 2001?
I'm going to go C.
C. 1996. Andy thinks it's been a while. The correct answer is 2018. Aquinas defeated Melrose Mindoro in the D4 title game. I would say you were close, Andy, but then I'd be lying.
That's okay. I'm all right with that.
Okay. We got a trip over here on this end as Laconia was driving in, and Maui Dual will go to the free throw line now. For Mineral Point, that is 7 fouls, so Laconia will be in the bonus the rest of the way, 2 minutes, 29 seconds. And for a team struggling on the offensive end, this is a great way to get some points here before the half.
Well, again, I think you see the 7 fouls down bonus for Mineral Point. Part of that's Laconia is just aggressiveness, trying to take it to the hole when they do have a look. And they can't go away from that. The threes aren't falling right now, so you better manufacture your baskets.
I mentioned Dual, one of those freshmen, averaging about 4 points per game. She's played well here. 3 points already. 1-1 from the free throw line. Bench points have been huge so far. That is point number 9 off the bench. 2:27 to go here. Now single digits once again for Mineral Point. They've pushed it out to 11, 12 points or so every time. We've seen Laconia get back down to single digits. We'll see if they push it back out here with a 3 ball from Lindsay. Still hasn't found the distance yet. Madigan has the board for Laconia. They get it across half court. She sends it up to Johannes. Back out to Madigan. Madigan right at the rim, and we're going to get a block call there. As looked like Chambers was hustling to try and get position. Couldn't get there in time to get the charge call.
Again, nice take. Again, here you got the window, got the seam. She came in a little late. Could rip through with the ball, but unfortunately just got the ball right in the face on Chambers. But that's what they're going to have to do. The threes aren't falling. Outside movement's just not quite there. Keep attacking the basket.
Those free throws opportunities whittling away at that deficit now as Madigan makes the first. Tierney Madigan, another one of those freshmen. And there's another one. There's 2 free throws down for Madigan.
Back down to 7.
Back down to 7. We hit the 2-minute mark here in the first half of this Division IV state championship game. Here's Mallory Lindsay looking at Michael Keys, her coach. Goes in, kicks it out. Ella Chambers can't get that one. She's hit several threes already, 3 of them. But she is now 3 of 6 as she misses that one.
Good work on the boards by Laconia. And they're giving up some heights with great box zones to create the ceiling.
Doing a little head take, goes in strong. Can't get it, and there's Waters putting yet another board. Blaine Waters up to 8 rebounds.
She's a machine on the inside right now in the glass.
Here's Bell Waters, sends it over to Ella Kroll. Kroll, a couple of dribbles into the middle, over to Chambers. Chambers gets in, spins, needs someone, sends it to Bell Waters. Waters to Kroll. Kroll will try a long-range 3. No good. Tapped over to Chambers. We get a jump ball here. There were 4 different players trying to battle for that one. In the end, we get a jump ball. One more substitution here for Laconia with 1:12 to go as Peyton Morgan, one of the starters, checks back in. Here comes off the bench Reese Keel as well. Chris Morgan trying to maybe sub out some specialists here over the final 1:12. Break this pressure. Here's Aubrey Leonard.
Leonard did a nice job when the ball's under her hands. The offense does seem to have a little more control to it.
Down on Vandenberg. Vandenberg, as Chambers flashed in, tried to strip away the ball, going to get a foul called, and that is going to be on the shot. So that'll be 2 free throws now.
3 on Miss Chambers.
And that is huge. We mentioned Chambers has been the offensive star here for Mineral Point with 15 points, but now 3 fouls for her. And it's not just her, as Winger and Cox have 2 fouls apiece. Cox is going to check back in. So for a team at Mineral Point that only likes to go about 7 deep, it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, this is gonna put pressure on that thin bench for sure.
One more for Vandenberg. This is off the front iron, tip back to Bell Waters. Here's Lindsay. Gonna take her time here as we hit the 50-second mark.
Those free throws definitely getting Laconia back into this game. 5-1 off from the line.
Roll to Waters. Waters with dangerous pass back to Lindsay, who seems to be looking for some direction on trying to call something. Get something lined up here as we hit the 30-second mark. I think Mineral Point might try and wind this one down for one last shot. That's what she was waiting to see. Is if that's what Coach wanted, that's what they're going to do.
Leonard doing a very nice job with her on the ball defense. Keeping Lindsay in front of her.
Lindsay gets it to Cox. 10 seconds to go now. Here's Waters. Waters looking around for someone, and we're going to get an foul on the screen, and that's going to be on Caitlin Cox. So now she has 3 fouls. Big call there in the closing 5 seconds. Not only does Mineral Point not get a shot off, but they have 2 starters with 3 fouls going into the half here. Michael Key's trying to get Cox out of the game, just so she doesn't get a 4th here in the final 5 seconds.
A little deeper, Delaney Ross coming in. So this is like going about 8 deep for Coach Keys. That's about as deep as you'll ever see them go.
We have Chris Morgan calling the timeout here for Laconia. Foul's going to be apparently a really big key factor here. As that's now 10 team fouls for Mineral Point. And you see Cox was trying to set a screen here for Lindsay. They wanted to get Lindsay a look here in the final 5 seconds. And that play backfires.
That was, to me, that ball, that's all on the defender jumping over the top of that screen. And that makes that extra little step that Cox had to take. Makes that a new moving 3 call. If the defender's pass from there, she gets away with that contact. It's no foul call. But again, the credit to the defense there jumping over the top.
So 5 seconds left. Mineral Point is going to keep the pressure here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if they break the pressure, it can lead to an open look, but this is how Mineral Point plays. They're going to stick with it in the final 5 seconds.
And the way this is going, though, again, you know, if you're Laconia, when they've been able to get a deep pass over the top of the press, they've been able to get a look, see if they can attack quick and get to the basket. It's definitely been their movement to the basket that have given them a chance here so far. Good look up.
They try to lob it up. Leonard's going to have to make something happen herself. She stops. That one was deflected by Mallory Lindsay. No
Great
good.
defense by Lindsay.
So Mineral Point will take a 6-point lead to the half here of this Division 4 semifinal. Great final couple minutes here for Laconia, Andy.
Yeah, they rallied. And again, it looked a little dicey there at 22-11, but their 5-0 run at the free throw line gets them right back into it.
Let's hear from Mineral Point head coach Michael Keys. He's standing by with our Carly Murata.
Coach, 2 of your starters with 3 fouls. Are you concerned about the foul trouble in the second half?
Yeah, we're just going to have to be smarter. Ella also played, this will make a very intelligent play, and then Kate wasn't set on the screen, but just got to be more intelligent in what we do.
Chambers has 15 points, but how can you get more players involved in the scoring?
No, we got to move the ball. They're doing a real good job of taking Mallory. We got to move the ball, be a little more patient. We got to create some more pace. We start to walk up. We got to generate some more from our defense.
All right, thank you for your time. Lance, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Carly. 6-point lead for Mineral Point as we take a break here to hear from our statewide sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station.
You can protect your health. How was your team able to climb back in this one?
I think just come down to our defense again. We were grinding on the defensive end, and we kind of relaxed a little bit on the offense early on. We had some looks, but we just kind of were throwing them up at the hoop. We were happy to get a shot rather than getting a good shot.
Mallory Lindsay held to only 1 point. What are you impressed about how they've played her so far?
Yeah, we've done a great job. Aubrey Leonard's been, we had a pretty good scouting report. I think we had a pretty good game plan coming in on her, but she can go off at any time. Aubrey's just working her tail off, and Aubrey's pretty darn athletic and matches her athleticism pretty good.
Thank you for your time, and good luck in the second half. Lance, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Carly. So we start this second half 22-16. Mineral Point with the lead, and Mineral Point will have the ball coming out of the half as we see Mallory Lindsay getting ready to get the inbound pass from Blair Waters. Mentioned 2 starters for Mineral Point now with 3 fouls. That is Ella Chambers, who has been the leading scorer in this game, and their starting center, Caitlin Cox. They are both starting the second half on the floor.
Floyd Winger with 2 as well, so we're talking 8 fouls with your starters.
And here's Cox right now. She gives it to Chambers. Chambers gets surrounded by defenders. That might be adjusted by Laconia as well. They know they're going to close quickly on Ella Chambers.
Well, 2-3 zone here by Laconia. Definitely shading Waters, Lindsay's side for sure.
And there is Waters, had a layup, misses it. Stick back is under good by Caitlin Thompson. We saw this from Laconia to start the game, too. They played some zone the first couple minutes and then switched up their defense.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the problem. Sometimes it's a little harder to find bodies on the shot in the zone, and you definitely saw that occur right there in that last possession.
Chambers flashes out, then a little miscommunication on if they were switching. Chambers does stick with Leonard. Open in the corner was Morgan for a second, bobbled the pass. So instead it's over to Vandenberg. Johanna sends it out. Here's Morgan stepping back over to Vandenberg.
Much more control field to this possession for Laconia.
That one out of bounds, going to stay over here with Laconia. Got a shoe malfunction, maybe from Madigan. Clears it off. Good to go. Morgan throws it up over the top to Madigan. She has Ella Chambers on her, and Laconia could be a game plan to be aggressive. Vandenberg from beyond that college line by another foot or two. No good. Here's Mallory Lindsay. She's surveying what defense they're in. Again, Laconia switching up defenses and switching once again this possession.
Well, they're back to it, dashed up. Lindsay gets a rare drive in through her body and through the foul.
Lindsay got what she wanted, which was a little bit of a clear out there, open lane, aggressively, goes to the rack. She's only taken 2 field goal opportunities, but has now drawn 2 fouls and will go to the line for the second time tonight. Lindsay makes the first big basketball family, Mallory Lindsay. Her cousin Lacey on this roster as well, and then her brother Isaac on the Badgers right now. Went to UNLV for a year. He's a big star for the Pointers a couple years ago.
Mallory, an Oshkosh recruit. BW Oshkosh just advanced to the Elite 8. Kudos to Coach Fisher. Just
congrats to them.
Keeps rolling with the Titans.
And Mallory pushes the lead back out to 10. Again, they're switching up top. Try a little trap there, so Madigan has a chance to go to the rim. Nice take. 2 finishes.
They got to keep attacking the basket. I mean, the threes are not falling. Again, they're still going to take them, but they got to keep looking to slice through those gaps.
Here's how it changes. Swatted by Tierney Madigan. A great back and forth on both ends here from Tierney Madigan as she gets the block on this end, and then on the other end, I mentioned they switched, which led to this opportunity for Madigan.
Yeah, great slice through. Just again, that gap was just open a hair, and she rips through, step through, good finish.
Here's Lindsay, gets an open look for 3, and that one is good.
First open look she's got without a hand in her face all over her.
44% three-point shooter on the season, so Mallory Lindsay's not going to miss you, leave her open like that.
And she attempted 220, so again, that's a high-volume shooter. Not getting many open looks today. Took advantage of that one.
And suddenly Lindsay up to 6 points real quick.
Right back up to 11 from middle of the point.
Nice cut there by Johanna. So now both offenses settling in, Andy. This is more of what they did throughout the season.
Yep, and again, nice job there by Laconia. Just, again, the more they attack the basket, the better things will be for them.
Lindsay to Chambers. Chambers throws it up over the top. Nice look down low for the finish.
Chambers just great vision. When she first released that, that could be a turnover, but nope.
An anticipation pass there. She knew that open passing lane would come. It did. There's a layup. Back up to 11. Knocked away by a winger who comes to join some of us here on Press Row. Decides she's going to play basketball instead of hanging out with us. Here's Morgan. Gives it into Johannes. Over to Leonard. Leonard, a couple of dribbles. Looking to lob it in potentially. Not a look there, but Vandenberg does have a free throw. Can't hit it.
Lindsay just great court vision. The second she got that ball in her hands, her head was up. She's looking down court, seeing what's open.
Waters fakes the 3, takes it in. Contested shot, a little bit of contact, no call, and it's not good. He's going to say it was tipped, and it will go to Laconia as we take a break here. A message from our statewide sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Now
Back out to that number, but after that last possession, Laconia will get the ball here out of bounds with a chance to get it back into single digits.
We've made our point, no pressure here. This is rare. just picking them up at half court. But again, it's going to be right away at half court because once the ball's in, you'll see Miss Mallory Lindsay literally right at the half court line getting her.
You see, rebounding was a huge advantage early on for Mineral Point. It's been balanced out a little bit by Laconia. They're doing a much better job.
But converting on it, that's the other side.
Here's Vandenberg over to Madigan. Madigan sends it over to Morgan in the corner. And it's picked up by Blair Waters. She's got a chance to lay this one up and in, and she will. The lead is out to 13 now for Mineral Point.
She has played that half lane perfect.
That is their largest lead of the game so far. 13 points here for Mineral Point. 14:08 to go.
Again, that was almost another one there.
Tough shot there. Nice rebound. Again, the stick back doesn't go. And Laconia still looking for a second chance point here. They are going to get a timeout, though, so they will retain possession coming out of this timeout. Offensive rebounds have been there for Laconia. It just hasn't really led to anything on that end.
Again, I think that length that you see from Mineral Point challenges even the putbacks.
We mentioned Blair Waters, just a fantastic athlete, great track athlete, and you just see that athleticism again with the steal and cruises away from the defense.
Smooth. It just jumps that passing lane, uses the proper hand there to get the tip to advance it, and basically creates her own pass break off the deflection.
Waters had 9 points in the semifinals. She's up to 6 points, 8 rebounds already on her way to potential double-double here in the championship game. Chambers still leading the way from Mineral Point with 15. We've seen Lindsay get on track a bit here, up to 6 points, 5 of those in the second half.
And early on here, too, another subtle stat number, but 0 fouls called on Mineral Point. So definitely, I'm sure something they discussed. Maybe just be a little, off the pass lane just a hair. You've also seen Mineral Point not press quite as much the second half.
They have 2 players with 3 fouls as Mineral Point, and 1 other starter with 2 fouls. They go right at Chambers, who's one of those players with 3 fouls, and that's sure a game plan for Laconia as well. Go at Chambers, go at Cox.
Extending the pressure, a little 1-3-1 here by Laconia. It's something they run and run well under Chris Morgan.
Now Lindsay will get another open look for 3. That one hits the iron twice. Chambers moves the board. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Mineral Point. Great job breaking that pressure by Mineral Point to get an open look for Lindsay, who hit one not too long ago.
And that's always the problem with the 1-3-1. Very susceptible to the open shooter on the quick swing. Corner.
Lindsay head fake, sends it to Chambers. Chambers, they leave her alone for the 5-footer. Doesn't get it to go, rebounds, stick back. And there are those second chance points once again. That has been huge for Mineral Point in this game as Cox sticks it back in. That is 10 points now in second chance opportunities. Vandenberg sends it over to Morgan. Morgan will try a triple. That one would have been big for Laconia. Instead, there's Madigan, and she gets a second chance bucket.
And you can tell again right there, Chambers wasn't going to take the chance picking up the 4th foul, so she just basically almost conceded the bucket.
Madigan, the leading scorer for Laconia, 8 points, 5 rebounds.
Standing pressure here by Laconia.
Winger trying to call timeout, and they will give it to Michael Keys finally, as she was in some trouble here. Didn't want to turn it over with them up 11, 12:47 to go here, second half. So Michael Keys talking to his group as they try to clinch the 2nd state championship in school history. Meanwhile, if you want to show your love for your team, tweet with the hashtag WIAAGB to appear in the stadium or on TV with Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin live tweet. Someone's tweeting right there, Andy.
Yes, she is. She's like, oh, you just interrupted me. She forgot her hashtag. Now I won't get on there.
She was just saying Andy Brunell is amazing. And hashtag WIAAGB.
Something tells me that's not what was in that tweet.
That was not it?
I'm thinking not. See?
She said you got a W today, Andy. Again, this is game 2 of 5 on the day. Division 3 will follow right after this. We already crowned the state champion in Division 5 is Randolph. Beat Assumption for that Division 5 state crown. First one in Randolph. School history for girls basketball.
Laconia on the 1-3-1. Again, trying to crank up the pressure a little bit.
Here's Chambers. Chambers step through. Kick it out. Waters thought twice about it. Open look for Chambers now. That one off to the right. Here's Eva Engel off the bench and getting the board off the glass.
Got to convert. Get this down to single digits.
Here's Madigan. Madigan, I mentioned, has been the leading scorer in this one for Laconia. Sends it in the corner. Here's Morgan. No good. They still can't find the distance from 3, and they're going to need to hit some of those here down the stretch. Here's Waters. Waters takes a look. That one off the back iron.
The board, a good hand by Johannes.
So Wicker gets her own rebound. So had the stat sheet here. 2 boards there and a chance to go to the free throw line.
Good board, good rip, nice hands right there by Johannes. But then now second one, we can't just muscle him right on up. Put it right in her chest, draws the foul.
The junior Kennedy Winger. 2-year all-conference selection here for Mineral Point. No good there. 11-point lead, 12:03 to go. Winger averaged about 12 points per game during the season before these state tournament games. Another almost rebound, but Caitlin Cox cannot quite corral before it goes out of bounds, so Laconia will get it back here. Chance to cut the lead back to single digits. Under 12 here, Aubrey Leonard, with Mallory Lindsay on her. Looking to go left. Johannes trying to post up, but you see Winger kind of flashing there. Then someone fronting and someone behind her. Here's Engel over to Morgan. Morgan rips through, goes baseline.
Nice left hand.
Can't get it to go. Gets the rebound. Sends it back out. Madigan lobs it in, and they got in a bad space there when you're trapped along the baseline.
Yeah, that's tough. Again, with that height of Mineral Point, that's tough.
Waters lowers the shoulder, and good positioning there by Engel to draw the charge. Take a look at it. We mentioned Blair Waters, great athlete. In this case, she decided she was going.
Yep, she's set. That's the right call.
But someone was standing in the way. Here's Madigan. So once again, another opportunity, and there's that mental hurdle, right? Just get it into single digits.
Yeah, just don't settle for a quick 3 here. Just see what you can break them down. Get create a seam that you can drive.
Laconia 1 of 13 from beyond the arc are the Spartans. They've had opportunities, just haven't hit. And that's how they're going to whittle away likely at this lead. But meanwhile, Madigan's done a great job of getting in there, and that's the type of money that you need. Instead, it's Mallory Lindsay up ahead. That's going to be an easy lay-in right there for Kennedy Winger. Madigan sends it back, nearly stolen away by Lindsay. Duel has it. Open look for Engel. There's one of those threes that they need to go, and it doesn't.
No, they're not shy. They're not bashful. They're going to keep putting those up.
Rebounding has actually evened out, just a 1 rebound advantage for Mineral Point. Meanwhile, Mallory Lindsay way downtown. And here's another offensive board as Kennedy Winger tracks it down. Laconia flashing like they're going to trap. Gives it to Winger, and now Chambers open for a long 2. Too strong. Here's another opportunity as Winger gets it. Lindsay again from college distance. This time she connects, and the shooter's too good for Mineral Point to give them 3 opportunities.
Yes, they're going to knock those down. They had a lot of good looks that possession.
Lindsay up to 9 points, and the lead is grown out to the largest of the game. 16 now for Mineral Point. Laconia needs to find a way to get a bucket here. Lob it to Johannes. Lindsay comes to help out. She would take the foul.
It's a good finish. Yeah.
A mismatch there as it was Chambers with the 3 fouls and also a noticeable height disadvantage guarding Johannes. So good job of them to identify what was a mismatch down low with Johannes.
Yeah, good entry in and then good finish. You know, kind of just going right into Lindsay's arms, drawing the foul call.
That one up and in for Molly Johannes. Mentioned she is the senior leader of this group that is otherwise very young. Sophomore, 3 freshmen in the lineup. First team all-conference selection was Molly Johannes. And she makes that one go through as well. So we have a timeout on the floor. Under 10 minutes left in this Division 4 state championship. You're watching your local station here on your WIAA network station. Free at the App Store. Download it right now to get in on the action. Someone will be taking home that gold ball in less than 10 minutes of playing action here. Right now, Mineral Point in control on 14 as they've just pushed this lead out. And what has been a back-and-forth game, started the second half with a 6-point lead. And it has been hovering around 10 points throughout much of this contest here, especially in the second half.
Good full court pressure here by Laconia, just trying to make them work, grind out that possession.
Mineral Point going to be very selective with their shots here. 9:27 to go. Ellen Chambers sends it over to Waters. Waters to Winger. Winger, a couple of dribbles, spins, kicks it out to Chambers, tries to contest it.
Biggest lead of the day.
Chambers up to 18 points. 4 3-pointers, 4 of 8 from beyond. Johannes tries to answer the Gunners. Maybe that'll take the lid off for Laconia.
And we need some rules to go. Good pressure. Tied up.
Great job to get the steal there. Kick it out to Johannes. Johannes to Madigan.
And one down.
That one barely comes out. Madigan will go to the line, and we finally see the pressure defense paying off for Laconia.
Yeah, again, denying both Chambers and Lindsay the ball, just kind of a tough inbounds. You know, Coach Keys right away using the timeout as a little impromptu timeout here to diagram, hey, let's do this instead. Trying to handle that pressure.
Madigan gets her 9th point. Vandenberg checks back in.
Madigan's done a really nice job. Everything off of her has basically been off the bounce, trying to really slice through the defense, trying to create at the rim.
Madigan can't get the second to go, and that's Winger with the board. Looking up ahead. She finds Waters. Waters, slight bobble, trying to send it across the Cox. They're going to say nobody touched it, and so we'll go over to the Spartans. Here's Aubrey Leonard. One of those freshmen we talked about for Laconia that have really settled in. 13-point deficit now, though. Johannes did just hit their second 3 of the game. Here's Molly Dooley with a nice lane movement.
The thick fade, cross dribble there, open up the defense. Need more of that action.
You can see looking at Duel.
Well, they've got the side-to-side look through the ball movement. They're able to get teams to the basket.
How about Winger with the strong take? We mentioned Mineral Point has 4 players. Any one of them can take it off the dribble and go to the rim.
Yes, they can. A lot of options.
Here's Madigan working on Waters. Molly Duel again getting in. The block from behind. Madigan still has possession for Laconia. She has nowhere to go with it. Finally, Leonard gets it, bobbles.
A little shaky right now. This possession kind of just regroup for a second.
Time for a deep breath for Laconia here.
The reset. Oh, pass just a hair off.
Good idea there. She tried to get it to Leonard, but didn't go for Molly Duel, though. They found nice passing to Duel here on this possession.
That's just a great movement, side to side, slips them right through.
And then on the other end, Winger just going right to the rim. 7:20 to go now. 13-point lead for Mineral Point. Lindsay to Chambers.
They're trying to attack that weave dribble.
Weaving their way into a foul as Waters gets tagged with a foul. Neither team has really gotten into any sort of foul trouble here in the second half. We see Johannes now has 3. But that's just 3 fouls for Laconia, 3 for Mineral Point. Haven't been a lot of whistles here in the second half, which has been big for Mineral Point as they started with 2 starters with 3 fouls, including Chambers. So has the ball here. Nice dribbles to get in there. She draws the foul on Leonard.
That's such a nice job. Again, she's a little height deprived, you know, but that doesn't stop her from attacking the basket. She uses her body so well to shield the defender. Basically just trying to will him, hey, come on, try to block this. And she just creates those foul calls with the way she positions her body on the shot.
Coach Kohler, one of the hearts and souls of this team. And we've seen it in this tournament, double figures in both games, 18 points here, 14 points in the last game. Again, was an all-tournament team selection a year ago as Mineral Point finished runner-up to Michigan. They lost that game 70-66. This has been a group very hungry to get back to this stage and trade in that silver ball for a gold ball.
Jack comes from behind. Trouble.
Scrape on the floor. We've got 3 players, and we're going to get a jump ball here. It's going to stay with the Spartans. As the lead is at 13, and we have another timeout on the floor. A message now from your local station. You're watching your WIAA network station.
Finding quality.
You know, they're pretty happy to be here. Everyone's happy to be here.
How could you not? Championship Saturday. Great day. Got started with a great 3-point shooting contest. Then our D5 final, no D4. Great day.
One goal ball already handed out to Randolph. Goal ball number 2 will be handed out here in 6 minutes, 54 seconds. Laconia trying to get back into contention here. They're working around the perimeter. I think they're going to try and take some of those shots here pretty quick. As Leonard, though, gets an open lane. It closes quickly. Here's a rebound. Johannes. Now that lead down to 11.
They're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting. A lot of time left.
They pull back that full court pressure, though, Andy. Going into half-court set.
I was a little expecting to see him continue. That worked well early. Good step back move.
Lindsay with the step back doesn't go. Johannes clears it, so very important possession here to get over that, like I said, mental hurdle, get it to single digits. That one would have helped. Doesn't go. Madigan battling 2-pointers. Gets the tie up and will go to Mineral Point.
On blue.
Now we see some full court pressure, so Chris Morgan has really mixed up the defenses throughout this game, trying to throw things off.
Going deep,
pass,
ball.
Winger to Waters.
Right on
Waters is swallowed by Johannes.
Wow.
First off, the arm by Kennedy Winger, who is an all-conference softball player, by the way. You can see that.
Right, that's the dive right on the money. It's a great block.
Blair Waters, great reception on the other end, but Johannes sprinting back.
No, run a little clock here if you're at Mineral Point. You're not going to stall, but again, take your time. Be deliberate.
Lob over the top to Winger. Winger trying to draw a foul there. Doesn't. Gets her on board, and we're going to get jump ball, so Laconia will get it back.
It's a stop for Laconia.
Winger going up strong a couple of times, but surrounded by 3 Spartans. Here's Aubrey Leonard. You see Madigan and Johannes have carried the squad here, 14 points. Here in the second half.
She's getting by one. She's getting those looks.
Waters with the board. Here Waters pushing the tempo. And a little bump there with Johannes. Back to Waters. Waters over to Chambers.
2-3 here. A little more like a box and one. They got Lindsay with the 1 on it. A little 2-2 zone.
And then you see they're giving Chambers a lot of attention here with Madigan. Madigan guarding her closely as Chambers drills on some clock. And that's going to be a reach-in foul there on Johannes. And that will be 4. So Molly Johannes, somebody that needs to be on the floor here. We mentioned the senior leader of this group. They need her to stay on the floor here for the final 5 minutes and 6 seconds. So.
Yeah, and if you want to get to the bonus, you got another foul to burn before you can get to that point. Just got to make sure she's not the one burning it. They're taking her off right now, so I would expect to see a quick foul here.
A couple of substitutions in for Laconia. Madigan out top. They switch back to man-to-man here. As Chambers has Madigan on her. 25-second call, making some moves, handing it off to Waters. Waters takes it in strong, kicks it out. Winger gives up the shot. Cross-court pass.
Good D.
Good defense there. Threw it into traffic a little bit. Caitlin Cox gets tied up. It will stay with Mineral Point.
Hey, Vengo, great job tying that one up. Looked like that pass was going through. I thought it was going to be a layup. Not so.
Lindsay over the top. Here's Winger. Winger makes a move to her left. Again, tries that same pass to Cox. This time she gets it.
Engel again.
Engel just standing tall with those arms. Knocks the ball away. Here's Molly Doolin. Right at the rim. She's going to get 2 shots here. Molly Doolin's been fearless going right at that rack.
Her and Madigan have done a great job, I think, off the dribble. Just trying to keep this team in, get to the line if you have to. Just do what you got to do. Then you can knock it down into single digits here.
And that first one doesn't go for Molly Doolin. Maybe it's a state and cross country as well. You can see some of that athleticism. Good multi-sport athlete for Laconia, trying to make a free throw here. That gets the lead back to 10. 4:30 to go. Laconia just hanging around here. Mineral Point looking for someone to perhaps make a bucket here, give them a little bit more breathing room. Michael Keys wants to talk about it as they have been a little discombobulated on offense there, Andy.
Yeah, they're not quite where they want to be here.
And they're still up 10 as we take a break here. Here from our statewide sponsors. You're watching your WIAA network station. 71 to go here in this Division 4 state championship game. The top seed Mineral Point up by 10 on the 2 seed Laconia. Mineral Point fans in a pretty good mood right now, the way this one has gone. They have kept Laconia kind of at arm's length throughout the second half, but they just can't seem to keep it away.
No, they can't. Laconia is not going away. They're going to keep attacking, keep scrapping. And right now, I think the need for Mineral Point to try to get Mallory Lindsay the ball in her hands, whenever she's able to bring the ball up court, just the offense seems like it's got a better rhythm to it. And when they're getting their face guarded and they can't get her touches, the offense now down the stretch hasn't quite looked as fluid.
Well, Mineral Point will have the ball. We'll see if they're going to listen to Andy Burnell here coming out of this timeout. We've got a little scores table situation that they're trying to figure out here. They might be trying to figure out which way the arrow was supposed to go. So apparently they're trying to figure out how many timeouts left for each team right now. The scoreboard saying that Mineral Point has 3, Laconia with 1, 4:21 to go. And those timeouts could be precious here if you have just 1 timeout left for Laconia. And they're trying to make a comeback here.
Got 1 left. Yeah, don't give them that one back. All right, so we got 2
timeouts left now for the scoreboard, says for Laconia.
Nice
lob
lob
over the top to Waters. She was falling down as she tried to throw that shot up, and
out of bounds.
Now we're going to say it was knocked out of bounds. They will stay with Mineral Point.
Great play design, just a little bit off. Waters kind of got caught going up for it. Could she finish in the air? She have to come down and try to finish off the bounce.
This time Lindsay gives it to Waters, gets it back. Mallory Lindsay has 9 points here, leading scorer for Mineral Point. 8 of those coming in the second half. She dribbles around, just kind of winding some clock down here, I think, before they decide to do something with this possession.
Leonard, she's not backing down. They got a little back. She gets back up, gets in the stand.
And that's a foul on Leonard, finally. They had 1 to give. Now it's going to be bonus time on the next foul for Mineral Point.
You're okay with that foul at that point in time. You want to give yourself that option if you want to start fouling and put him at the line. Now you can.
This time Winger has it, sends it to Chambers. Chambers has Molly Duel on her. Laconia in your face at this point as they need to force some turnovers, get some possessions.
They try to clear it out a little bit for Lindsay.
Lindsay to Chambers. Chambers comes back. She'll work on Duel. Picks up her dribble as Madigan flashes at her. And it looks like Mineral Point's going to force Laconia to make them do something.
You want to come foul? Go ahead, come foul us. Run some clock.
The Laconia faithful starting to voice some displeasure with the time clicking down. Finally, we do get a foul call. And I don't know if they're going to get Duel over there. Leonard as well, but it will be on Molly Duel. So going to the line will be Mallory Lindsay. Lindsay, one of the better free throw shooters on this team at 81%.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're going to foul and put him on the line, that's not the player you want to be able to put on the line.
It is the exact opposite of the player you'd want to be putting on the line, Mallory Lindsay. Today, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. First one is good, and there was no doubt about that shot, so lead back up to 11. Some more substitutions for Laconia. They've been freely substituting all game. Deep bench here. I mentioned 5 of their top 8 players that have gotten the majority of the minutes are freshmen. A lot of them have been coming off the bench, and all of them holding their own in there. Second one, no good.
Yeah, they've contributed.
Here's Madigan, sends it up. Duel. Hesitates for a second, goes baseline.
Good defense.
Johannes picks up her dribble. Open look for Morgan for 3.
She just can't buy one.
Morgan has had so many of those rattle out, hasn't scored yet.
She's had good looks. Now 11. Now again, this is tough. If you're going to play keep away, you got a dynamic ball handler like Mallory Lindsay up there. That's tough.
Lindsay just daring Laconia to foul her, and I think Mineral Point will be A-okay if Mallory Lindsay just keeps dribbling until they do something.
Yeah. Enough dribble penetration to get past the defender to clear the 5-second count.
Ella Chambers, the other primary ball handler here for Mineral Point, but she just gives it back to Lindsay. Their top free throw shooter at 81%. And Laconia's going to be left with no choice here potentially but to foul Lindsay.
You're going to have to follow somebody else if you want to follow. That's a better option.
And there you go. They finally got the ball out of Lindsay's hands, and they'll give Blair Waters her chance to go to the line rather than following Mallory Lindsay. So tactical back and forth going here as Laconia does not want to follow Lindsay. Trying to force her to give it up. Instead it goes to Waters. Waters on the season just a 58% free throw shooter, so much better odds here for the Spartans. First one is good though as Waters comes through. Blair Waters. The senior looks so calm and cool when she's chewing that gum out there, right?
Look at the gym shooting.
This is the second one.
Shooter average. 1 on 2. Now you got to convert.
Inside to Johannes. Walled up by Cox. They can get back. Johannes.
On the arm.
Tried a tough shot there, but Waters looked like reached in, grabbed her by the wrist.
That situation, Coach Keith just turns and walks away. It's like, no, just at that point, just let her shoot it. Keep the clock running, keep the game flowing. Don't stop it, let them shoot at the line.
First one is off of the front of the iron for Johannes, 11 points. Only player in double figures right now for the Spartans. First missed free throw of the game for her. Second one also short, and Winger grabs the board, but sends it off of Cox's legs. And we're going to get a timeout by Laconia, so they retain possession, and that extra timeout came in handy. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Well played there too, my friend. So yeah, one left though for Coach Morgan here. Big possession. Just under 2 minutes left. You have time, but you got to score it quick. Yeah, they love the three. They're not falling. Part of you wants to say, hey, just attack the basket. Maybe draw the foul, get to the free throw line, let yourself create those buckets that way versus trying to jack up the three that just those have not been falling today for them.
11% from three today.
Well, they hit enough in the first half. First half was 9, so
they were
a slight uptick.
They hit 1 in each half so far, 2 of 18 in the game, and that was one of the keys for Laconia. They knew they were going to have to hit those shots. Right. It hasn't happened yet. They just need to hope they can heat up here in the final 2 minutes to get back in the game.
They've done well when they've attacked the basket off the dribble, so hopefully they can just get to that. You know that you have Mineral Point. They're going to foul you. Then they only have 5 fouls, but again, if it's on the shot, you get to the free throw line.
So 1:54 to go. These two teams looking to make a little school history. I mentioned Laconia, just their second trip to state. They've never won a state championship. They lost in the title game in Division III back in 2019. For Mineral Point, they did win a state title back in 2016. This is their 3rd state appearance, and this group has been really building to this moment after finishing the runner-up to Michigan a year ago.
Well, that was a mission. Coach Keith talked about that. Literally, when that final horn sounded, that was the goal, that was the mission of everybody in the program. And here they are, an opportunity to finish it.
Johannes is going to start with the ball in her hand. Sends it over to Morgan. Morgan into the corner. They kick it back out to Johannes. You can imagine she's going to want to take some of these shots down the stretch. That one not close. Good job by Waters to tip it over to Cox. And here's Chambers, gets across half court. And they will commit the foul right there on Ella Chambers. So Chambers now goes to the line, a 68% free throw shooter. Chambers had that huge first half. 18 points now total in the game. But just 2 of 5 from the line today. And the first one misses, so Laconia clears in Mineral Point, not wanting to commit any fouls, so they pull back on that rebound. They don't want to give Laconia any easy points here with fouling. As you can see, Chambers backing up. Nice finish by Madigan.
And we're down to 10. Time left, got to get the ball out of her hands. Do not want to put her at the free throw line. Oh, great.
Duel with the steal anyway, and it is now just an 8-point game. Michael Keys calls a timeout here, so what a great turn of events for Laconia as they were able to get the steal and the quick bucket against Mallory Lindsay.
Yeah, just strips it right in, finish. 8-point game. Minute 13 left. It's going to be tight. She got an opportunity. Need a couple more steals and quick conversions.
Duel has played so well off the bench. 9 points now for Molly Duel.
Yes, she has. That's outstanding. And then again, that's what you need. You need that spark. And again, so much of what they've done, they're at their best when they're able to attack the basket.
So with an 8-point lead, Mineral Point going to draw it up here. You're going to expect that they're still going to keep the ball in Mallory Lindsay's hands because Laconia is going to have to still foul, obviously, with a minute 13 to go. Yeah, and
as you look at the Mineral Point as a team, not a great team, free throw shooting team, about 58-59% for the team. Mallory Lindsay, obviously the best one at 81. So if you're Laconia, you're just the flip side. Hey, deny her. 2 people on her. Don't let her get it. Will foul anyone else but her. So deny her the ball.
A big drop-off in percentages. Lindsay's at 81%. The next best starter is at 68%. That's Ella Chambers. So you mentioned there's a big drop-off, which is why Mineral Point's so focused on trying to keep the ball in Lindsay's hands here, as they know Laconia will be looking to foul if they don't get a steal off the inbounds, which they just did there. A quick steal. 4-6 for Mallory Lindsay here in this one.
And Ella Chambers solid at 68%, but 2 of 6 today. Yeah, sometimes you got to ride the hay what they have down here.
Coney going to try and get a steal here off the inbounds. Waters goes deep again. They do just get it to Lindsay. Dillon is on her. Got the trap. Here to Chambers. Gives it up to Winger. Winger's going to go across to Waters. And they'll pull it back out now and try and stall some time. Laconia's got a foul right now.
Yeah, they got to get after it.
And they do get Chambers from behind. Madigan will get charged with that foul. She's up to 4 now fouls as Madigan. Johannes also with 4. So they can't have Johannes commit any of the fouls here. Everyone else with 1 to give. You don't want Madigan to foul out either, ideally. That one is good.
Trying to right the ship a little bit at the line today.
19 points for Ella Chambers.
Four 8 from 3. It's a big piece of that.
And she gets the second one to go. Big free throws there for Mineral Point. Gets it up to 10. Shots are going to have to come quick here for the Spartans. Leonard in the duel. Duel throws it up. Johannes tips it back out. Open look for 3 from Madigan. No good. Rebound, Mineral Point, and immediately great job by Winger. You notice she just handed it right off to Lindsay.
Here you go. Lindsay, Mallory, come here.
So Lindsay will go to the line where, again, she's an 81% free throw shooter. Chance to ice the game and a state championship will come at the free throw line here for the Pointers down to the final 44 seconds. It is good.
Yeah, that's going to make it tough. 11-point game at this point.
4-year all-conference player Mallory Lindsay has been waiting for this moment, and she connects. Now it's 12, and now you got to start shooting some threes, Andy.
Yeah, now you got to jack it up. Anybody who's got the look, you have to take it. That won't help.
Instead, Leonard dribbles into trouble. We get a tie ball here, and it'll be Laconia's possession with 33 seconds left. Morgan will inbound as they try to look for a chance to get up some quick threes. Over the top to Duel. Duel makes a move, sends it into the corner. Morgan had to reach to grab it, so instead it's Madigan for 3. And there's that 3-pointer they need to get it down to 9 once again. That final timeout here with 26 seconds to go. And you can no longer worry about fouling who you're fouling. You just got to foul whoever gets the ball inbounds if you don't get the steal.
It's basically right now you're taking a chance on the first pass to try to get the steal, quick convert, and then then it's after that you got to foul whoever you can get your hands on.
That's just the third 3-pointer, 3-21 for Laconia. Madigan, though, up to 14 points, 9 rebounds. How about Madigan
She's
today?
had a solid game for them across the board.
Johannes with 11 points. If you look at who has made the threes here for them so far in this game, it's been Johannes made 1, Madigan made 1, and then Engel off the bench made 1. Those have been your 3-point shooters so far, and I'm sure we might see all of those people on the court here.
You're going to have to. You know, even Leonard and Morgan have been off. They haven't scored yet. They've contributed in a lot of other ways, but again, if they got the look, you got to pull the trigger. Just got to take it.
And if you're Mineral Point, you're just drawing up a way to safely get the ball in bounds.
Yeah. Double, triple, quadruple, everybody screen for her. Just get the ball in her hands.
As they come out of the timeout here, Michael gives a few final instructions. It looks like Kennedy Winger is going to inbound it. It is all 5 starters on the floor. Look for a mineral point.
Yeah, deep one flying. There it is, weak side flying. No, not there.
And they do get it into Lindsay, who kind of just sealed off the passing lane there. And then she dribbles away to dribble off 2 extra seconds or so off the clock. Great job by Mallory Lindsay. Just kind of sealed position there.
Almost like she was sitting on the low post, trying to post up. But again, an effective way to get that pass in. See Coach Morgan get the subs in.
It looks like Coach Morgan is going to start subbing out his starters now. As the first free throw goes in for Mallory Lindsay, lead back out to 10. And it'll be a nice round of applause for these Laconia players. This is the team I mentioned, just 1 senior in the starting lineup and 5 of the top 8 players are freshmen. This is a group that even this morning said it wasn't sure what the expectation should be because they were so young. And they make it all the way to the state championship game. What an accomplishment for these Spartans.
Hey, coming home with the silver ball with a young team that at the beginning of the year you said, well, I'm not sure what we can expect out of them. That would be success. That'd be a heck of a season.
And as talented as Mineral Point has been the last couple of years, Andy, just the pressure of making it to the title game, you return everybody.
Yes.
And everyone knows it's kind of state championship or bust as your mindset. There's just all that pressure all year, and they're unblemished. Right. They're going to finish this year undefeated.
Undefeated. And again, like you said, when that was the goal, that was the expectation, that's what everybody assumed that they were going to be here. It's tough to actually make that happen. And then fighting through the crazy year that we've had, COVID shutdowns, pauses, things like that. A lot of things that you have to try to fight through. They certainly did. Hats off. Well done.
12 and a half seconds left until there's a celebration. There's going to be a foul here for Laconia. They're going to keep playing. 10 seconds to go. 11-point contest. You look at most wins here. This is going to be win number 30 for Mineral Point. 30-0. You see Randolph just finished an undefeated season as well. Cuba City in 2010. Germantown just a year ago. That one no good, as this is Lacey Lindsay coming off the bench. Cousin of Mallory. Second one no good either. Laconia dribbling up here. The final 5 seconds. See if they can get a shot up. And the buzzer sounds for the second time in school history. The Mineral Point Pointers are state champions. The Pointers in their 3rd state appearance claiming the title, their first since 2016 as they finish off a 30-0 season here to claim the Division 4 crown. What a year for them and what a career.